kind of...
Greetings, brothers and sisters. My name is Ekong, and I am the founder of Eat to Live Not to Die and Do
Divine Order
Organic Transformer.
My name is Matulu, and I am the founder of Matulu Botanica.
My name is One Nathan Smith. Just there as per normal for uplift the people them. One Nathan Smith on the Instagram and on the Twitter.
Today's topic is about how to co-parent.
I personally feel that it's not a case of a woman looking after the man's child. I think it's a case of the woman assisting him in raising his child whenever the child is present.
Correct.
Yeah. And vice versa.
Correct.
More so, I do find that it's men aiding females with their children, whether it's not their child or not. More than even if the male has a child and he's not with the mother of the child, he doesn't really get much aid. Where she's got her children and she's got a new partner and she's not with the father of the child. There's no worries in the sense of my partner having a thought about the mother, so that will hinder her helping to a certain extent. Do you get what I'm saying?
I feel that it will only hinder if the man hasn't created clarity with his woman, his current woman, and the mother of his child. So what I mean by that is, I'm not saying that the women have to become friends or best friends, but I feel like if the man is taking his current situation serious, then there needs to be some form of cordial understanding where they both know that, okay, I am now present in this man's life and I understand that you was present and you still have to be present due to the child. I just feel like in a lot of relationships, especially in our generation, we are not fully transparent with our present situation when there was a past situation. Do you understand what I'm saying? I just feel like people need to be a bit more inclusive, because at the end of the day, what we're not thinking about here is the emotional stability of the child. We're not really thinking about that. We like to say that we are, because we're buying the clothes, we're buying the child clothes and food and there's gas and there's electricity. But when the child has now come to the realization that my father has somebody else, my father's living in this house with somebody else and he's no longer in my house on a regular basis, that needs to be addressed. And obviously, even though some of the children are quite young, there's only a certain way that you can address that. And I think the best way to do that is by allowing the child to see the mother, the father, and the father's current partner in a healthy situation. Because there's only so much that you can actually say when they're at a certain age. But again,
For a male.
What do you mean?
For a male, there's only so much he can say.
No, I think the man's voice and the woman's voice is equal. And the only reason why it wouldn't be is because the man has allowed that to be.
To a certain extent.
Yeah, to a certain extent, because you can't force anybody to be cordial, right?
Because we live in the Western world, 9 times out of 10 it's the woman's rights.
Yeah, unfortunately, due to the government structure.
Yeah, so we don't really get a say. If we want to, for instance, we're not together, me and my children's mother's not together, I want to move on, and I still want to take my children to the new girlfriend's house, it's going to be no. Now, if the shoe's on the other foot now, I can't tell the mother no. You're not seeing the children, because it's an instant phone call.
The main child. I mean, she has the soul. She's the sole provider. Yeah.
So there's no way a man can really say no, you can't, because she can instantly go to authorities or she can do what she's doing, and she can get back that child. But the male, he has to go through a long system. He's got to go through a system.
Yeah.
He's rejected in a certain angle. So if he's not mentally strong to say, do you know what? Well, I wanna have a life as well, because I know maybe my children will be inside the house over there with the mother and her new partner, and I have to accept that. If he's mentally not strong now, he's gonna try to do things
that will disrupt that.
and disrupt it. Yeah,
like try to claim sole parental rights
Exactly.
of the child, take you to court.
Call
Exactly.
social services on your new boyfriend,
On your,
threaten,
Exactly.
make allegations.
that you're abusing the child, so no
But
experience.
how far does
Oh.
those males get? They don't get very far.
But obviously, those men that are doing those things, how would you like it if someone did that to your mum? That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
That's just put that down.
Can you clarify on what you're speaking on here?
Pardon?
Can you clarify?
What do you mean?
You said that those men would not like it if these things were done to
The
them.
men that are
Doing
calling
what?
social services
Mm-hmm.
on your girl because your girl's got a new man. Of course she has. You want her to be alone for the rest of her life. You just want her to just be by herself forever. And even when you're dead, she should still be alone even if you die. Be real, man. Come on, suck it up.
Yeah, that's the
Suck
one.
it up, innit?
That's one point there.
Every man that's not with their child, the mother of their child, that's your reality.
More time, he has to suck it up. He has to, because in the long run, we ain't got no legs to stand on. As I said, she's gonna move on with her new partner, and maybe the father's just gonna be there, left in the woods, not knowing where the child is or whatever the child's going on with the mother and her new partner. But what I'm saying is now, is that right for that to be happening to a father and not a mother?
It's not right to happen to anyone.
No,
Right.
No.
So it's happening more to fathers than mothers, isn't it?
And that's because of the structure, unfortunately.
The fathers just have to take it no matter what. And women, if they find out a man's got maybe 2 children because he's moved on now, he wants to have a new family, probably never worked there, tried to make it work there, realised maybe she's just as bad as that one there. Because you never know. People always say, why didn't you know before you get with them?
I was going to touch
People
on that.
always say this, you never know a person until when you live with them for 22 months. That means you got to sleep with them day in, day out. You got to know their daily routine. You can't just say you know somebody, and because you may have sexual intercourse with them, you may have a few things in common, you know this person. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
when you see the true
Exactly.
self.
When things are going good,
Mm-hmm.
everyone's smiling and everyone's, but like you said, them deep moments of adversity, you see a person's true character at times.
Yeah.
But it's a bit hard because sometimes I say true character, but then there's the moments where, well, someone could be pushed to a degree. So I wouldn't really say
That's
sometimes a true character in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
But you get to see people's character on a consistent pattern during moments of
That's what I'm
adversity.
saying. You
It
have
might
to
be
see
that
it
odd one
regular.
moment where someone reacts
All
a
right,
certain
so
way.
let's not venture off the subject though. So how do we co-parent effectively? There has to be communication. Now the communication
And transparency.
and transparency is key.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a man that your yes is your yes, your no is your no. If you know you can't do it, just say no. Because that's a lot of things that men, like I myself do myself, and I assume that many other men do it as well. If you're not sure, my brothers, just say no. Because some man might be able to do it and know how you're feeling. But if when this person links me, I'll know from there what I can do next.
Yeah, because there's nothing to do that, innit?
Do you get what I mean? Like when this happens, if that goes well or according to plan, then I'll know if I can come and meet you guys or not.
Yeah.
That's what happens a lot of the time. But if you're not sure, just say no. And a lot of men don't say no. And then the woman, they start to now see us as a joke, man, because our yes is wavy, it's wishy-washy. So you get what I'm saying? And they don't have no faith in your yes. They don't even have no faith in your no. Again. You feel me? So we need to start being men of our word. We're creatures of habit, and we doubt ourselves the most in the whole universe. And that doubt causes that hesitation. That hesitation turns into fear. That fear can manifest in any way possible. Lies, deceit. Fear manifests in so many ways, it's unreal, you know? So I think, again, communication and transparency, key, absolutely key. And also, wanting the best for your children. Knowing what you didn't get, and just applying it. How many children do you have? And are you still with their mother?
No, I'm not with the children's mother. I got 4 girls and 2 boys. Not the same woman, 3 different girls. Jealousy plays a big part, as your emotions can play a big role. You know, if for instance you can't handle your emotions, you're gonna do some dreadful things. You're gonna be thinking some terrible thoughts. So that's just a key point to co-parenting. You just gotta leave your jealousy, leave your emotions out, and just get on with things. Because do you know what? Your life was created not for anybody, but for yourself. What I've got to realize is in life, you get with a partner, and because of this marriage and the culture, you get with a partner, you stay with your partner forever until the day you die. Now, I don't really see that as the way. It can be the way, but it's not the way.
The only way.
Yeah, that's not the only way. Because there's things that happen in it. So when you're going along your journey in life, there's things that happen in it. It's like driving, you might have to swerve and, you know, obstacles and whatnot. So these things just play a part in your life, innit? You just got to move on, keep it moving. And that's it. If you do find somebody that you could stick with for long and there's no problems, then so be it. You get me? If you make a family and you choose that both of you do agree on maybe having 20 children, that's a bonus. If you choose that you don't want to have children but you want to be together, it's still a bonus. But just make sure there's no jealousy. I can talk to females, you could talk to males. This is just the world that we live in, you know what I'm saying? So jealousy is a big role.
Jealousy is something that it's an inside job still. It's not about, cause there's things that you can say to people that might not flare up their jealousy. However, why should you edit what you're gonna say to someone just not to make them jealous? Why can't you just speak your mind?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying to you? If the mother of your children asks you as a man, where you going? Some man will lie. They're going on a date with their new girlfriend, but some man will lie and say, "Yeah, I'm at yard. I'm just at home still."
Yeah.
Just so that they can protect the feelings of the mother.
Why?
But my bro, please tell her you're going for that 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐬 meal or for that lobster meal, whatever you're into over there. Just tell her what going on.
Just tell her. Just be straightforward.
You get me?
And for the women as well.
By you doing that, you're allowing her to grow. Because that thing there, that thing that might hit her, that's a wake-up call. So now she has to react, innit?
Yeah.
So does she react to jealousy, or does she grow and then not care?
But that's her choice.
Listen,
it's her
a lot of guys don't tell the truth, innit? Yeah. And for the guys that keep it real and tell the truth, they suffer for the guys that don't. You get me? It's like a wolf in sheep clothing. That's what I see out here still. I'm not perfect. You hear that? I got 6 children, innit?
But that
doesn't mean to say that I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, which I'm gonna try and say, a lot of females will look at that and say, "Oh gosh, he's got children. There's something wrong with him, man. He can't look after his children, or what's going on?"
They're just gonna look
There's
at the
a
structure.
perception.
Why has things
No,
broken down?
hold on. Nathan, have you got children?
No.
Have you ever been with a woman that has children though?
Yeah, I've been with a woman that's got 2 kids.
How old are they?
Why at the time? One was 9, one was 5.
That's big children there. So how was the interaction? Not having no children of your own and being with a woman that has children.
Do you know what? Do you know when we speak about, I was talking about like the kind of like the programming and stuff. So it's like growing up, my dad wasn't really around, but every weekend was at my grandparents' house, and my uncle always come and always showed us love. And his woman at the time had a son, and we call him cousin now. You understand? So it's like, for me, it was like, okay, if you find a woman and she's got a child, and a nothing. You know what I mean? So it was just nothing to me, to be honest. It was just easy. You know, like when sometimes people would say like, "Oh, how do you lot go out for food and stuff like that?" I'm like, huh? What do you mean? Like, For me, I'm thinking,
Those
what
are
kind
the
of question is that?
majority.
They're projecting their insecurities onto you.
Yeah, I'm like, we got all go out for food.
Yeah.
But they can't do that. That's why.
Yeah, but obviously for me, I'm not knowing that, innit? To me, it's just like, well, we go out for food, kids, you know, go to school with the kids or whatever. I had my day on a Wednesday, I'll pick them up, drop them to school or whatever, or anytime she shouted me. You know, like, so the relationship was good. Like, very, very good. Like, to be honest, I treated them like they were mine. You know what I mean? Like, treat them like they were mine, so...
Yeah.
Was a good
Well,
time.
more times, what I've got to realise, and that's what I wanted to top up as well. More times, there's more man going for women that's got children, more than women going for men that's got children. And when they do, if they do, here, as I said, not every guy is perfect, because there's guys out there that do mess up for guys that, you know, want to kind of just make something happen with a woman with her children. But there's guys out there that's got children that just want to keep dogging down the place, you know, keep going out there
And just not looking after
not
them.
just
but
not
making
looking
them.
after children. So we get it, but more time men are choosing that female, whether she's got 10 youth or whether she's got 5 youth, no matter what she's doing.
I think that's the test, though. If a woman, it's vice versa as well. If a woman's with a man that has children, how, as a woman that doesn't have children, being with a man that has children, you're in a classroom now, and the classroom is him and his children. Now you got to see how they move. You got to see how he treats his children. You got to see how the children are reacting with him, and it's for you to look at that as a woman and say, "Rah, he looks after his children good. I like the way he
But
does."
then on the
I
flip
like-
side, he could be a man that wants to be a part in his children's lives, and he doesn't get that role. As I said, remember, going back, the woman, this is the woman's world, you know, she's got more rights.
Yeah, but I think as a man, if you want to be in your children's life and the woman is making it hard for you to be in the children's life, then don't push up yourself.
There you go.
That's all I'm saying.
You just ease
Don't push up
yourself.
yourself, because remember, there would be no occurrence unless that occurrence was supposed to occur. So you have to follow your heart as a man or a woman or a child.
So
Your heart.
then, okay, so watch this now. So then the co-parenting now, on her head, on her side, by a male doing that, saying, you know what, I'm going to fall back in it. I could see what's going on right now. Making it a little bit hard for me. You don't want me to see my children. I'm not going to get emotional and run to the government and do all of these things. Let me just try and build and, you know, do things correct. And in the timing, everything's happening in divine order. But then in her head, it's going to be like, he's this, your daddy's that, you're this and you're that, you're this and you're that, you're that and you're this.
What would be the point of a liar if there was no one telling the truth? Let me say that again. What would be the point of a liar existing on the earth if there was no one telling the truth? So she has to say that. Whatever
That
she's
has to
saying,
happen.
that's
So
what
where
she's
does
supposed to be saying.
so where does the co-parenting come in there?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Doesn't.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
what-
that's
that's
it, bro.
the-
Yeah,
that's
man,
the
just
answer
clear
then,
cut.
innit?
Yeah.
Crystal.
In that sense.
Crystal, bro. 100,000,000%.
So where does the communication come in there then?
Boy, if
It
it can be,
cannot.
it can be. If it can't be, it can't be. That's one thing a lot of people do
Okay.
as well in the world, you know. When they see that something's not working, even if it's a relationship, they see that their diet's not working, they see that their job is not working, they see that some things are not working, but why do people continuously go back there? And go back there, and then go back there, and go back there and revisit this? So they say that's insanity. When you know something's not working, and you do it over and over again, expecting a different result. See all of that talking back and forth, arguing.
Yeah.
Be the bigger man or woman and just lock it off. Your ways. If we could collect all the minutes that we spent in our lives talking BS to people, some people have a good year added to their life. If we could add up all that time people were talking rubbish to us and we sat there or stood there and listened, or on the phone listening to garbage. If we added up all that time, some people have a good 1 year, 2 years, some people 6 months, some people 5 years added to their life.
Respect. That's just it. Nothing more than that, you know.
That's the least.
And that's the least.
That's the least.
That's the main thing, and that's the least.
That's it. But again, like he said, coming back again to jealousy, emotions. Why don't he want me? Why don't she want me? man's around my youth, a girl's around my youth.
You're gonna have a better girl than me.
You know,
He'd probably be thinking he's gonna be a better man than me. So that father might be insecure about the new man that.
Yeah, it can go any way. It can go any way. But that's the test of life, though. You have to understand that. You see, in life,
that's jealousy.
You might have gotten over something. Yeah. Let's say you're overcoming anger. You've overcome anger. Cool. But Sinead, Barry, and Thompson ain't overcome anger, and you're gonna link them tomorrow at work. So what do you do now?
Wow.
What do you do now? You claim to overcome anger, but everyone around you haven't overcome the anger. What are you gonna do now? So you're gonna get tested every single day until you die. You see the tests of life? It never done. Your jealousy will be tested. Your anger will be tested. Your envy will be tested. All your stuff will be tested. Whatever you claim to be, the universe is gonna check you. And that's it. Don't ever say to yourself as a woman, I'll never be a baby mother. Because the universe will make you a baby mother. Yeah, and don't be a man that says I'll never be a baby father, because the universe will make you a baby father. Because the person that you get with, you can't control them. They could leave you when you have a child.
It's the heart, and how much things do you have in common? You know, but even then saying so, because I remember me and the mothers had things in common. Or else I wouldn't have went there.
Normal.
I wouldn't have went there. But it's the type of things we had in common at the time, that I'm seeing. Wait, hold on. As you get older, as you start to evolve and you start to learn new things start to change, innit? Your mindset starts to change. So do you start to see if this is still for me or if this is not for me? So that's, as I said, like, you would never get to know somebody by the click of your fingers. So it takes time, innit? Because my first child came when I was 29. I never rushed to have a child. I never rushed to have a child, and it just hit me with six children.
Don't think that you shouldn't have had the child with this person, or you shouldn't have had a child with that
ever
person.
think
that. Every child is coming in here on their own accord. This is a spiritual thing that we're talking about. Every child is coming in on their own accord. Yeah, it's ego to ever say to yourself, I'm having a child tonight, and then you think the child's just gonna make. No, it don't happen like that.
Never.
It's the child that chooses the parents. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So don't ever feel like, wish I never had a child with you. Wish I never had a child with her or him. You know,
crazy.
Nah, never, ever. That child is someone's wife. Hopefully, someone's husband, hopefully. You get me? A motivational speaker for millions, hopefully. A president. You get me? I don't know. So we can't look down on no child that comes into the world, no matter the circumstances of how they've come into the world, neither.
Yeah. Some people say this as well. When you do have a child, going back now, when you do find that person you have a child that you support, you're supposed to stick together. And if it doesn't work out, it looks like you're a shambles to something. But as I said, you never know what's for you. Just like that.
Relationships have come like an Amazon Prime. It's like, you press Amazon Prime, you get it the next day. Whereas a seed don't just sprout just like that.
There you
when
go.
You plant it.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like, we've got into this quantum leap
like
so
it's just
much
supposed to happen.
So when we've got our socials and whatever, and like, this looks good and that looks, they got together today and they're in Jamaica or something 2 weeks later. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's trying to go for that, that person should have that. But when you're meeting people, you've got how many years that before you even met them?
There you go.
So they've done things a certain way for a long period of time.
There you go.
So I think personally it's a thing of the two people have to be willing to put their hand up and say, you know what, we know everything's a constant learning process.
Exactly.
And we're going to do wrong at times because the flesh is weak.
Of course.
No matter how, like you said, you're always going to get tested.
Always.
So you can do something right 100 times.
Come on.
And there might be that one moment where you kind of get it wrong. But I just feel like the two people then, like, again, the forgiveness. You know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be stuff that happens, and it's
the main
forgive people as fast as you want the universe to forgive you.
Forgive as well. Yeah, that one there.
Because like when they talk about pure, we're not talking about forgetting, because we have to learn
Come on,
from that
Can't forget,
situation
but
there. But
forgive.
like,
bro, speak it, bro.
and when they talk about purification, it's a purification of the emotion. That way, the forgiveness can.
Talking about forgiveness the other day, brother.
You know what I mean?
It's all about forgiveness.
That's
Brother, imagine this, yeah.
That's it.
I was telling my empress here, yeah, that there's children in the world, yeah, like that get beaten by their parents, hardcore. I'm from Africa, so I know the. Let's not even go into that, yeah. Lick you with crazy stuff. But then you still go back to your mum and say, "Mummy, I love you. Mummy, can I have food? Mummy, can you? Mummy." You'll go back to your parents. They could have beat you a million times in a million different ways with a million different objects. You're still gonna go back to them as a child. But why? Forgiveness. You see how quick they forgive?
It's a good one still, I like that.
You see how quick they forgive?
It's a good one still.
That day is serious. Sometimes I have to look at my children, like my child, but because I'm around another child that isn't mine, I've got to look at the children all together. When I'm with my daughter and I'm with her daughter, I look at them, separate environments. I look at their behaviors, how they react to their mother, and it's always the same thing. They take something from them, they cry, they do something, they tell them off, they do anything that they do, they come back, whether it's 5 minutes, it could be a 10-minute thing, an hour, it doesn't matter, they're coming back. Open arms.
True love holds no anger.
True love holds no anger.
And an angry heart devours its owner.
And you know what, to touch on that children part is interesting because like when I was around the two kids all the time, you know when you could generally feel like an open, honest heart from them. So, you know when we speak about, you know, you can learn a lot from kids. Like, they taught me so much. You understand? Generally, and they taught you, they let you know, listen, when your heart's open, it's open. That's one thing, and like, they ain't got to say nothing in words, and that's when it made me understand more, like, it's all about the word stuff. Yeah, you sometimes need to say certain things, but one thing we can't deny is a feeling.
Feeling.
You can't deny it, and when there's love, if someone tries to explain it, that ain't really love. You can't, when you feel it, you can't explain it.
Yeah.
Some people can't feel it.
Energy don't lie, and energy don't die.
Why do you think they can't feel love? We'll have you quickly and then we have sister and Yessa.
I think sometimes it past traumas, man. Some people don't feel love through past traumas, or it takes time for them to get back into the routine of loving through past traumas.
I think it's when you don't have a relationship with yourself.
Maybe that's that's
I
a
do.
point. Still, you have to
When you
love
don't have a
yourself.
relationship with yourself, then everything is just.
Some people love themselves to the fact of surgery. I feel that they could.
That's not love.
That's not
They are conceiving that to be there, but that's not love.
Okay.
Because how can you love yourself but you're altering something? You're willing to give your life, possibly kill yourself to alter something about yourself. That's not love.
altering something that effectively is going to change anyway.
Exactly.
You've heard our perspective on co-parenting. What is your perspective? Share in the comments below.